Okay, so what's your name?
Mispa?
Okay, Mispa, what do you do? Do you study or work?
Yeah, I'm studying.
Okay. So what are you studying?
Right now I'm doing MS in psychology.
Okay. So are you reading the books?
Yeah, I often read books.
So what kind of books that you read, except the books that you have in your syllabus?
You can say it can be a storybooks, it can be a motivational books, it can be a poetic books.
Okay. So are the books different from the one that you used to read in your childhood?
Obviously, there is different storybooks in childhood. Now there is different storybooks in adulthood. So there are different stories regarding to our age, regarding to our age difference.
What was your favorite book as a child?
In a child, there are stories of fairy tales. I love to read that books.
Okay. So you used to change the books as you grow up?
Yeah. In the middle of the age, I started reading books that very near to spiritual, that really near to Almighty, that connected me to my Almighty. I started reading that books too.
How much do you read for your work or for your studies?
It depends on my mood. Whenever I can call my hobby. Whenever I have time, I feel free, I feel amazed, I started reading books.
Okay. So are you reading any kind of books for your pleasure?
It depends. It satisfied me or not. I started reading first page, then if it gives me pleasure, then I continue. Otherwise, I'll close it.
Okay. Do you help anyone in your family to read the books?
Yeah, I motivate my cousins a lot to read that book and that book too. I encourage my friends to read that kind of books. I told them about different things that I learned from the books and different stories, and I tell them usually to read that book.
So do you think that there are less people now reading books?
Yeah.
What's the reason why they are not reading?
It's according to my perspective. I say the mobile phones reduce the readers. They usually use social apps a lot. So the spare time, the me time, the play time, they are divide there. They use their social apps a lot, so they don't give time to their books. Their that player zone, that hobby too.
Okay. Do you read newspapers? Online or offline? Hard
I
copy?
prefer reading offline. I prefer.
Okay. So is there any kind of other stuff that you like to read, such as magazines or like stories and novels?
Yeah, whenever it is like recently that certain recent news, anything like that.
So when the last time you read something and what was that?
Last time, recently in Ramadan, I read a book that is a spiritual book. That actually it was a Ramadan, so I read Yaqeen. That is very spiritual book that taught us to trust the Almighty and trust the process of Almighty, and that gave me a lot of motivation to trust the process and don't panic.
Okay. Do you have interest in visiting different cities?
I love to travel.
Okay. So we give you a topic. This will take like 60 seconds. You got a piece of paper. You can pen down some important points on that piece of paper if you like to. And therefore you'll have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay.
Sure.
The topic is this. Describe a big city that you would like to visit. Say why you like to visit that city. That's the topic. From now on, I'm going to give you exactly a minute. Your 1 minute starts now. Okay, 1 minute is up. So as you can see that she made some quick bullet points on this piece of paper in about 60 seconds. Ready? Okay, you can start.
As I told you earlier, I love to travel. So I visited many cities of Pakistan. One of the big cities is Karachi, and I visited Lahore too. But my most favorite city was Islamabad. As we all know, that it's capital of Pakistan, and actually Islamabad is the most clean city of Pakistan. It is there is educated people there. There is no harassment, and there is proper rules and regulation. There is a very rules for traffic. People follows rule accordingly, and I love to travel there because there are a variety of brands there. There are different malls there. There are specific area when you go there you can get everything you want. As I say, whenever I go there, I travel by my own vehicle. As I mentioned that I'm a driver. I can drive. I have a car and I drove by my own self. I drive by my own self, and I experienced that there is as compared to other cities, I can go there easily. There is a people follows different rules and regulations that helps me to travel. That helps me to, as I'm a girl there. I experience different cities, and the people of different cities, they harass their looks, I get confused. But the way I experience the people of Islamabad, they don't do that kind of stuff with girls and with anything. They just do their own work. So whenever I go, I do shopping a lot. I'm a foodie girl. I eat a lot. I want to explore different areas, and in Islamabad there is a variety of food. I love to eat different kind of thing. You can get every kind of meal there. You can get fast food, you can get desi food, you can get Chinese food, you can get Italian food. So there is a variety of foods there. There is a variety of brands there. You can get international brands, you can get Pakistani brands, you can get local brands, even the locals and even outsiders. They can also get everything they want, and so for my own opinion, I prefer Islamabad over all other cities, and you can get whatever you want in Islamabad.
So she spoke for 2 minutes and 57 seconds. 57 seconds. So anything over 2 minutes is always good. Don't stop until examiner stops it.
Sure.
It's always good that if you speak for 2 minutes, please. Okay. So what are the most interesting things that you do while visiting other cities on holiday?
On holiday?
Yeah.
That is a bit of recreation. We do for recreation, so we experience different things. We enjoy food, we do for shopping, we do for parks, we do for picnic like stuff. So we experience food. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm a foodie girl. So first my point was first, how was the food there? So I taste different foods. So that was the first priority for me. How was the food there?
Okay, why can it be expensive to visit any city these days?
Because due to the petrol prices. The petrol prices all over Pakistan and all over the world is rapidly increased.
So if you have a choice to make between your family and friends to travel, so who would you like to travel?
Obviously my friends.
And why is that?
Because their company. Whenever you go, the company matter a lot.
When the last time you visited, so did you visit that place with your family or alone or with your friends?
Last time I visited was 1 month before. I visited before the Ramadan, and it was with my friends. And we went there for eat shopping.
What do you say about the people that visit lot of cities and they pollute a lot?
There is the most disobedience of them. If they travel a lot, they experience different cities, so then they do that kind of stuff. So that is very disobedience from them.
Okay. Is it better to travel that specific city in one day, or is it good to stay over there for 2 or 3 days or more days to enjoy more?
It's as it's convenient for one oneself. For myself, if it's near to your place, you can visit in a one day. But if it is far from your place, you should stay there. As I visited Hunza, but I went Punjab Pass going through Hunza, but I didn't stay there. So it was that feeling I should stay there to explore more. So if you you should stay there to explore more things.
So why the cities have increased in the size in the recent years?
People migrated from rural areas to urban areas for more facilities. So the population of urban areas rapidly increasing.
So what are the challenges you think that are growing as the cities are growing as well?
There is a pollution, noise pollution, and air pollution. There is environmental pollution. People don't follow rules, so a lot kind of pollution happening in our cities, areas.
In what ways do you think that there are certain cities are different from each other?
The way they follow rules, the way there is different kind of institutions, how they follow it, how they build it, how they encourage their citizens to take part of to promote their well-being of the people of their cities. So they engage programs to engage it. So every city is different from other city.
So do you think that we should have new cities, new well-planned cities?
Yeah, we should have it with a proper planning.
So what is the thing that you really like to improve about your city that you're living in?
Pollution is the first priority. That leads to different diseases. That leads to the reputation of city. That leads to different disasters of the city. So first of all, we should consider pollution to cure it.
So how do you compare your city with your neighboring city? Could be Abad, could be Islamabad.
If I compare my city with Abad, our city is a lot more better in traffic rules. Our city is a lot more better than Abad. But as I compare my city with Islamabad is the number one. As I told you, they follow rules accordingly and perfectly. So Islamabad is way better than us.
So as you can see that she spoke for about 14 minutes, and that's the time that you should have in your mind. They usually have you interview from 11 minutes to 14 minutes.